The Central Coast of British Columbia is one of the most spectacular and biologically rich places left on the planet, where ancient temperate rainforest intertwines with the living Pacific. The 4 First Nations who have inhabited the Central Coast for thousands of years have joined forces, forming the Central Coast Indigenous Resource Alliance, otherwise known as SECURA. Using a combination of traditional knowledge and science, the nations are committed to upholding their Indigenous laws and stewarding these marine resources in a manner that sustains their cultures and ensures intact ecosystems, healthy communities, and local sustainable economies, now and into the future.
The number of crab have gone drastically down since the commercial fishermen started coming in, because in a bay this size, we might throw 3 or 4 traps in for ourselves personally. But the commercial guys, they'll come in, they'll throw 70 to 100 traps in a bay like this, and they'll just wipe it right out. I don't even know exactly who to call on anything anymore. Seems like the monitoring has gone down.
I was a fisherman, but there's no fish there now, because it's been mismanaged by fisheries.
You know, it's kind of the mentality. The government will take until there's nothing left, and then we'll realize there's a problem, and maybe one day it'll come back.
The herring is the worst. They kick the herring pretty good around Central Coast, and it just hasn't been the same for the last, I'd say, 5-6 years since I've ever had a good herring season. You know, just for home use, for like traditional herring eggs and stuff like that.
There's been huge decline in all aquatic species all across the board. Everything from salmon to abalone to herring, you name it, they're gone.
Willigans, we have not seen any willigans here for 16 years and counting.
This river system had so many willigans in it. You know, I remember fishing just over here. One of the last runs that the Bellacoola River had.
With us losing our willigans, for example, the health of our people has changed because of that. There was studies done on that, what we call willigan grease, that was found that it was one of the healthiest oils there was going. I never thought I'd see that day growing up, that we'd have basically no willigans left.
It really is critical to the First Nations way of life. First Nations had been talking to government about what can we do to halt the decline of willigan. And so what the government said is, well, you don't have proof that the populations are declining because you didn't go out and do these studies that said this is what the population base is and this is what it was. So if this is what it was and this is what it is, it's declined. All they could say is, well, you've only got anecdotal evidence.
Well, I think the management that comes from the different levels of government, the provincial and the federal governments, a lot of the people that are involved in that form of management at those levels don't really have an understanding of what it's like to be on the ground here, to be a part of these cycles. They don't have an understanding of the significance of these resources, not only to us, but to our ecosystems and to our watersheds in general. A majority of the time when there's important decisions to be made, they're made from someone in a 3-piece suit in Ottawa. Someone in Ottawa hasn't a clue what's going on out here. That a lot of the decisions are just based on models. They're based on predictions from years ago and cycles, which was proven to be not very accurate.
Over the past 15-20 years, there are changes with the Department of Fisheries and them not being able to watch over territory. With people are poaching and taking out different things like different times of the year, and just when nobody's here to really watch, whether it's halibut, cod, clams, just you name it.
Enforcement is at an all-time low now for the department. I haven't seen a fisheries boat up here for a while, And
that's why the First Nations need to jump in. We need to start working together.
After years of watching the steady decline of the marine resources, the nations of the Central Coast decided that it was time to take a more proactive approach.